Glad to have you along here with us this evening. It is George Langevin and Jim Costa. Jim Costa doing the films at Jim Costa Films #1, and George Langevin, the producer, and he's from Langevin Productions. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg G.K. Porter, and alumni of Chaffee High School and a retired Navy.
Captains now descending on
and now the captains coming onto the field for both teams. Mount Miguel is on the far side in the red and black, and the purple and gold is the Santana Sultans. This is the third game being broadcasted with an announcer for the Santana Sultans.
Sergio Godinez.
They are 1-1 in the last couple of weeks. Let's get your lineups for this. I should say, let's get your standings for San Diego County football. #1 team in the county, as it stands right now, is Oceanside, and they are 6-1. LCC is the #2 team. They are 6-1 as well. #3 is Helix. And #4 is Cathedral. #5 is Mission Hills. Cathedral's 5-2. Mission Hills is 5-2 is the same. Poway 5-2. And #17 is Olympian 7-0 as they moved up a couple of spots. St. Augustine 6-1. #8 team, and the #9 team is Grossmont at 7-0. With the #10 team being East Lake at 5-2. The big game of the county here in San Diego County is Cathedral going against St. Augustine. Cathedral, which dropped a spot at 5-2, going against St. Augustine, which dropped a spot as well. So that's a big game of the county. Great matchup last week, where it was Olympian against Otay Ranch, and Olympian winning that one. #1 rusher in the county coming into this week is Royce Freeman, 1,432 yards from Imperial, the junior. And I talked to a gentleman, and he said he's seen that young man play, and he is a load to deal with for a defensive player. The passing yards leader is Ramsey Romano from Valhalla High School, the 6'1 senior, 2,000 yards and 43. All righty, we are set to get underway here at Mount Miguel High School.
B is back to kick to start this game off.
Mount Miguel kicking to Santana. Mount Miguel, the leader in the Grossmont Valley League, and this homecoming game for Mount Miguel is underway. And Browning picking it up. He had some troubles with it. Taylor comes up and makes a stop, but not before he gets up close to about the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Sultans of Santana. Gabe Cruz is the quarterback. And Gabe, the senior, coming into this game. .915 yards passing.
Penalty against the Sultans, block in the back.
And there was a block in the back, so looks like half the distance to the goal. And now they're at the 6-yard line. Correction on that, 896 yards passing for Gabe Cruz coming into this game. His leading rusher is Jareth Raymond at 315, and the handoff straight at the middle.
Jareth Raymond brought down by a host of Matadors.
Number of Matadors in on the play to stop Raymond. So it'll be second down and 11 yards to go. Loss of a yard on the play. Just the starting of the football game. Hope you're settling in with your beverage and your snack. I'm watching this Langevin Productions out here in the East County area, over in Spring Valley area. And a quick pass out. Trying to gain some yards down the right sidelines. Trying to spread out the defense. Maybe gained a couple yards on the play. It's going to be third down and still long yardage to go. Nunez in on the play. And actually, they gained nothing on that, so they actually lost a yard, so third down and 12. And we now have flags. Sultan cheerleaders doing a fine job every week trying to make sure that everybody is entertained with their cheers. False start against the Sultans. And things not starting off so well here in this varsity football game against the Matadors of Mount Miguel. And it being their homecoming night, 2012. But the Sultans have spoiled a homecoming night before. And a handoff up the middle. They gained some good yardage.
Raymond with the carry.
But was it enough for a first down? It is not.
By Gilbert Brito.
It's still going to be a few yards short.
That's going to set up fourth down. Punt team coming on the field for the Sultans.
So Tim Esses sends out the punt squad.
Rashad Harper back to receive.
From the shadow of their own end zone. Always dangerous when you have to kick from your own end zone. But they're able to get the punt off.
Fielded at the 45.
The 45-yard line.
40.
And pretty good coverage that time. Getting down there to make the play was Kevin Brady.
And Frank Chet with the tackle.
But good field territory for the Matadors. The ball is at their 42-yard line. Correction on that, it's the 38-yard line of the Sultans. The 38-yard line. Moreno looking for his wide receiver down in a corner route and not able to connect with him that time, so it'll be second down and 10. Brown on the coverage. Threw that one a little bit too far over the left shoulder. Hand off straight up the middle to Dozier, and Dozier not able to get much.
Sheldon Payne with the stop.
Sheldon Payne making a good stop on that play. 9:55 and counting down here in the first quarter.
3rd and 9 Matadors.
Still have no score as we check back in with your video. Rolling right, being pursued. Moreno, but he connects.
Javon Richardson with the reception.
Richardson catching that one down the near side and able to get a first down for the Matadors.
Ball spotted at the 18 where it's going to be a 1st and 10 Mount McGill.
Let's go, defense!
1st and 10 for the Matadors. Ball is at the 18-yard line. Single man in the backfield.
Dozier.
And Dozier going straight up the middle, and he is a load, and he might have got into the end zone. Let's see. very close. He got it down to about the 1 yard line.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 1 where it's going to be first and goal, Mount Miguel.
First down and goal to go for the Matadors. And got double wide receivers split out wide, and they just want to split them out, and that works very good because they get a touchdown.
Tony Dozier, touchdown run.
Marco Zamudio was carried into the end zone trying to bring him down. And Dozier gives the Matadors a 6-0 lead. As I mentioned, Mount Miguel having the best record so far in the Grossmont Valley. They are 2-0, 3-4 on the season. And both these two teams are Division IV teams. Snap down, kick is up, and it's good, just barely through the crossbar, the uprights. 9:19, as you see there, left to play in the first quarter. It is now 7-0, Mount Miguel over the Sultans of Santana High School. Kind of a crisp night here, but it's not as bad as it will get when you talk temperature at nighttime. Wednesday was an extremely warm day, and it broke some records here in San Diego County. And the Wednesday before was unbelievable because of the fact that it rained. So you had 2 consecutive Wednesdays here in October where you had rain, you had the spectrum of rain, and then the other one, extreme heat. And in October, that usually doesn't happen out here in Southern California. But that's exactly what did happen this October. And we still got some days left. So stay tuned. Browning dropping deep. Browning being on the right of your picture. And he elects to keep that one in the end zone for a touchback.
Kickoff, a touchback.
So it'll be first down and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Sultans of Santana High School out in Santee, California, east part of San Diego. Let's see what Gabe Cruz and his teammates can do here with this series of downs from their 20-yard line. He's got trips off to the wide side of the field, and he's going to go to that side, but he throws it behind Cody Stam.
Cruz's pass intended for Stam, incomplete, setting up 2nd and 10, Santana.
So Gabe going to try to warm up here as a signal caller. But he's down by a touchdown, 7-0. Greg G.K. Porter for Langevin Productions. Hopefully you're enjoying this one so far. In a Grossmont Valley game here in San Diego County, where the Mount Miguel Matadors lead 7-0. Here's a flare pass, and that was batted away.
Cruz's pass incomplete.
Cruz was looking for Stam again, and Javon Davis nearly picked that one off. Number 45. So looking to try to surprise him in that linebacker area, but it was nearly picked off. 9:11 left to play here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 10. There's nothing but passing plays in the first 2 of this series. Got trips off to the wide side of the field. Single wide receiver to the near side, and he's going to go to the wide side, the strong side, and he wasn't able to get it to Browning. And so now they're going to have to punt it away. 4th down, 10 yards to go.
That's going to bring on
for the Sultans. The Matadors are going to have good field position. I'm going to have it at around midfield, depending on the length of the kick. If they get a favorable bounce, the Sultans, they can back them up some. Not a bad kick, and he's going to get the favorable bounce and roll it towards midfield. But it rests actually
down at the 47.
At the 47-yard line of the Sultans. So the Matadors in great field position again. 8:55 left to play in the first quarter. Jim Costa from Jim Costa Films alongside George Langevin. I'm Greg G.K. Porter. Watching this high school football game from San Diego County.
Vanessa Valdez, please report.
Mount Miguel Matadors and Santana Sultans.
Waving for you right now.
The Matadors on first down want to try to run it, and that run play is not going to go for anything, and it's going to be a loss on the play. As Kevin Brady, the 5'11" linebacker, the senior, getting in there to make the stop behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll be second down and 15 for the Matadors. The double wide receivers off to the wide side of the field, a single to the near side, a couple of them actually. And they try to go up the middle behind the center, and they don't get much running room there. Barely to about midfield. It's the big man, Dozier, and takes him a little bit to gain a little bit of speed, and that time they wouldn't allow him to do that. So it'll be third down and about 13 yards to go. Football rests very close to midfield with 8 minutes and counting down left to go in the first quarter. But jumping off are the Sultans. Kevin Brady wanted to try to get in there.
Gonna move Mount Miguel 5 yards closer.
And try to set that edge or get in there and try and rush after that quarterback. It didn't work out that time. As victimizes himself and his team. For the penalty, and now it's going to be only third down and 8 yards to go. And they try to fake the belly to the Dozier, and he throws complete. Moreno, nice play that time, upfield. Richardson again, and it's going to be a first down. Moreno, and that quick fake in the belly, like nearly a play action, but more like the type of stuff you see Oregon run.
Dozier up.
And now here's Dozier, and Dozier's got pay dirt.
Touchdown, Bulldozer.
And now it is going to be 13-0. Dozier has both touchdowns on runs. And this one from pretty good distance. And as you saw there, if he gets started, he's going to be tough to bring down. And once he eluded one man, he was able to find nothing but daylight towards the end zone. The prognosticators are saying that Mount Miguel might.
The 18 block. Browning at the 1. The 20.
Browning running that football all the way to the 28-yard line. 13-0, your score.
Sheldon Payne leading that tackle.
First down. The ball is going to be marked at the 30-yard line, or close to the 30-yard line at the 29. 6:53 left to play in the second quarter. And now finding Browning.
With the reception.
Browning being tackled by a couple of players over towards the far side of the field. Aguñez was one of them.
Gain of 5.
He gets there first.
Second and 5.
Gaining about 5 yards on the quick pass play, the quick out. Six and a half, and just less than 6.5 left to play in a quarter. We want to go with the running play this time.
Sonny Samawada with the stop.
And Samawada was in on the stop.
Raymond, no gain on the play.
As you get an opportunity to see your video again.
Down for Santana.
5:57 left to play now. Matadors leading out here in the Spring Valley area of San Diego by 2 touchdowns and an extra point. They missed the second extra point. Therein lies the 13-0 score. Cruz in a shotgun, and his ball was tipped, and
Cruz's pass.
it is intercepted. Number 55 intercepting that football for the Matadors.
Miracle Tasaga with the
That's Tasaga.
And Moreno.
Interesting first name, Miracle Tasaga. Maybe he was a miracle baby. He was born. Nevertheless, at the 29-yard line, for the Matadors, and they, so far in this first quarter, have been very dominating. I mentioned Oregon, very similar to that kind of stuff that people watched on ESPN yesterday, and getting all the way down into the end zone is Dozier again. He just was on a sweep play around the left tackle, found a lot of daylight, and able to get down into pay dirt for the third time here in the quarter. And the Sultans have not seen this all season. 19-0 the score. Not so early in the game. The Matadors have a new coach this season. They were a playoff team last season, as the point after touchdown is good. And so were the Sultans. But so far things checking in a little bit better for the team that is in first place. And the way they're going, they're going to be 3-0, leading the Grossmont Valley League. Sean McDade is the head coach for Mount Miguel. So the band is happy on the far side of the field on homecoming night. If you want to have a homecoming, boy, this is the way to start off your football game. But still lots of football left to be played, and I can tell you one thing, the Sultans are not going to give up. The fumble. We've seen them down by 3 touchdowns before.
Browning's going to recover his own ball.
Actually, last week they were down by 3 touchdowns, and they came back to make it within a touchdown with time left to potentially get the football back and tie up the game. it didn't happen, but
Ball spotted at the
it was
14.
interesting in the fourth quarter how they fought their way back. And so if Mount Miguel is thinking that this game is over, they might want to think again. Trips to the near side. And motion. And motion play does not work as the edge was set, and pursuit was very good from Mount Miguel. A gain of about a yard on the play. It's going to make it 2nd down and 9.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
And actually, the officials mark it as a no gain, so it is going to be 2nd down and 10. Dozier has been a one-man wrecking crew, scoring all 3 of the touchdowns. And handoff up the middle, not gaining much on the play.
Javon Davis.
As Davis in there to make the play.
Setting up 3rd and 11.
3rd down and 11 yards to go. Trips on the near side. Strong side of the formation. Gabe Cruz. Cruz handing it off.
Raymond.
And Raymond getting the carry, but not finding any room to run as Jareth was swarmed under by a few players, and Tasaga was the first one at the point of contact. Now left less than 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play and counting down at 3:19 in the first quarter.
And here comes the punt team back onto the field.
We've just settled in and we find a 3-touchdown deficit. The Sultans can still try and get some turnovers and try to turn this game around. But so far, they're finding themselves in a big hole. As we see the cheerleaders working hard over here to try to keep the spirits up of the student body and the parents. Near side, Santana High School.
Where it's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Mount Miguel offense.
The Matadors, they got trips to the near side of the field. Single wide out to the wide side. Moreno, and he found himself under heavy pressure, and he just heaved that one downfield. And his wideout almost ran underneath it for a score. But the pressure was instrumental in making him overthrow that football. And those are the types of things the Sultans are going to have to work on, the little things, to try to get themselves back into this football game. Dozier, single setback. Moreno's going to hand it to him. Dozier
up the middle.
Doesn't get much, if anything at all. About 3 yards. 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
Sean Padberg with the stop.
Padberg getting in there and making a stop. Double wide receivers near side, and the handoff is a running play, and the keeper by Moreno, and he is ragged down that time. Sean Padberg, again, making the play, was linebacker position at 6'1", 205.
Gain of 1.
Gain of about a yard on the play. And on 4th down, they're going to go for it. This could be a huge play. The Sultans know how to stop teams when they try to go for it on 4th down or big plays that they've been summoned up to make, but Dozier, they have no answer for. And another touchdown by Dozier. And it is 26 now to nothing.
Mount McGill offense 4 for 4.
The blocking for Dozier up the middle has been excellent so far in this game. No, they haven't been successful every time he's touched the football, but nearly every time, because most importantly for Mount Miguel, he's been able to get the big runs for scores. 26 to nothing, and they're trying to make it 27. And it's up to the uprights, and it is good. 27 to nothing.
1:36 left in the first quarter. Let's go, Mount McGill.
A minute and 36 left to go in the first quarter. It is 27 to nothing. Mount Miguel Matadors over Santana. And if you're the Sultans, it can't get any worse in a first quarter for you. At least not this season. Getting lambasted here, out here in Spring Valley in Homecoming Night 2012 for the Matadors. And it's been all Dozier, scoring every one of the touchdowns. And the Sultans can find an answer to stop Dozier from getting the long runs. They can find a way to crawl back into this game. That has not happened so far. They have no answer for Dozier.
Browning.
When one player starts to dominate you, like Dozier has, that's one of those scenarios that can give him a lot of points on the scoreboard. Nice run by Tyler Browning.
We have an injured Matador on the field.
The injured player out on the field for the Matadors. The timeout, 1 minute and 27 seconds left to play. It is 27 to nothing. And hopefully he will return. But nowadays in tackle football, they are very sensitive towards any kind of head injury. And oftentimes players will not return. And this is where it starts in the high school. And actually it starts in the Pop Warner program. You should start there for the Pop Warner programs on up. College and then potentially NFL. The handoff straight up the middle is a short game. But ball possession and moving the sticks and eating up the clock is what the Sultans are going to have to do. They're going to have to try and keep this football away from the red and black and eat up time off the clock while putting points up on the board. Gabe Cruz going to run it to the near side, getting around the tackle and gaining some yardage across the 40 for a pretty good little gain.
That's going to be good for a first down for Santana.
Corey Connor, the ball carrier. Corey Connor does not run the ball too much, but he got the call there. Now they want to go straight up right behind the center, and it's Jareth Raymond, their leading rusher on the season, gaining a couple more yards. Could be second down.
Gabriel Bias with the stop.
Maybe about 6 yards to go.
2nd and 7.
As you take a look there at all of those here at homecoming night in Spring Valley, Mount Miguel High School.
Santana 0.
Homecoming night 2012. 27-0 is your score as we go into the second quarter. Full house backfield for the Sultans, down by 4 scores, 27-0. They throw out to Browning, and he gets it across midfield, and he is tackled immediately, but not before the Sultans gain another first down. So the Sultans are moving the football up the field, and now they're in Matador territory. And this is the first time in the game that they have cracked into Matador territory. Full house backfield, and the leading rusher for him, Jareth Raymond. Can't gain anything that time as Tasaga leading the linebackers and the linesmen, going upfield to make the tackle.
Class of 94, Luke Duke Gant on the drums.
So let's see what Tim Estes will dial up for his offensive team. Again, gaining yardage on the ground. But on that particular play, the Matadors saying, we're not going to let you run this time. Well, let's see if they try it again. And they are going to do just that, but they're not going to gain much of anything on that play. Jareth Raymond getting the call, and they try to bounce it out side, but the pursuit by Tasaga and his teammates able to make that a short gain of 1 yard. Third down for the Sultans of Santana High School out in Santee. And it's Grossmont Valley game. The leaders in the Grossmont Valley League are in red and black out there on the field. 2-0, 3-4 on the season, trying to win their 4th game. And they look like they're well on their way to do that. 4-step drop and throwing out to Raymond, and that was over his head. So it's going to be a 4th down, and head coach Tim Estes might not want him to kick it. He might want him to try to go for it on 4th down, but I'm not so sure he'll want to do that with a lot of yards to try to gain. Might want to keep that one in his pocket for when they're a little bit closer. However, they're going to need a defensive stop and get the ball back. As yes, there's still just about 3/4 of football left to be played. But as each second ticks off that clock, you work with less and less of an opportunity to try to come back and win the game. And when you're down by 4 scores, you need to get some stops.
Let's go, defense! Let's go, defense!
That term more loosely used in the world of basketball, getting some stops. The Matadors, decent field territory after the punt, which they did not return. So it went out of bounds. Moreno, the quarterback, single man in the backfield, and the double wide receivers off to the right, and he rolls to that side, and he throws it off the hands of Richardson, who has been his leading wide receiver in this game. 9:38 left to play in the second quarter. Jim Costa of Jim Costa Films 1, along with George Langevin, Langevin Productions. I'm Greg G.K. Porter, and the handoff straight up the middle. And it goes for no gain on the play, and actually a loss. So it's going to be 3rd down and lots of yardage for the Matadors. And this is the kind of direction the Sultans want to go. But they need a big stop here on 3rd down early in the game. Moreno
3rd and 12.
gonna hand it to the big man. Dozier, he shakes away from one man, and he's danger when he does that. He continues on the 40, the 45, and he's brought down as he gets across the 45-yard line. But was there a hold? As the yellow laundry is out there out on the field. And in the area it was thrown, it doesn't look good for the Matadors. Yes, and it was a hold against the Matadors. So that good running play by Dozier again didn't result for a touchdown, but it was a good running play nonetheless. But it will not go for a 1st down. It's going to turn out to be 3rd down. And close to 14 yards to go. Matadors. So trips to the near side of the field. Single man to the short side of the field. Dozier in the backfield. One man going in motion. And Moreno is flushed out of the pocket. Moreno scrambling around. Moreno showing that he has speed back there. And they're still going to try to chase him down. He comes to the near side. He throws. It's intercepted. It's intercepted by the Sultans. Corey Connor following where the flight of the ball is going to go. And Connor has the Sultans in business now with 8:36 left to play in his 2nd quarter. Moreno trying to find somebody to break open from their route, and he could not. And then he tried to force it in an area where it could get intercepted, and that time it was by Corey Connor, number 12. And the senior has his teammates in business now.
Stick around and enjoy listening to the Mount McGill Alumni and Friends Marching Band.
Looks like that ball is about the 11-yard line, or take that back, the 16-yard line. And they hand it off of a left guard, and that's Jareth Raymond getting the call. Raymond gaining a couple yards, and this is exactly what the Sultans needed. They needed a turnover, and they need to continue to run the football, eating up time off the clock, and opportunities for the red and black to try to put more points on a board. But when you do that, you got to make sure you put points on a board to close the gap. Gabe Cruz, the quarterback, the full house backfield, single wide receiver to the left and to the right. He's got a man in the motion, and that's a blocking play to try to get the edge, and they do. And very close to the 1st down is number 30, and that's Khalil Stewart. And I believe that's his 1st carry of the game. Khalil Stewart, the senior, at 6 foot, 175 pounds. Getting him close to the 1st down marker at about a yard. Getting close to 7 minutes left to play in the 2nd quarter. Sultans trying to get a 1st down here and make it 1st down and goal to goal on a quarterback sneak. Looks like they have it. And it is a 1st down. It'll be 1st down and goal to goal for the Sultans. And so now the purple and gold in their white uniforms, as we saw them in their dark uniforms last week. Close to 6.5 left to play in the second quarter. Trying to get into the end zone. Cruz hands it off of right guard, and that time not able to gain much there. As the pursuit was very good that time and not able to get much of a push. Find the seam. Second down. Ball is at about the 6-yard line, just inside the 6. Second and goal. Cruz. Full house backfield.
Second and goal.
One step drop. He throws it up in the air to Browning, and it's batted away at the last moment.
Victor,
good coverage that time. Agunyas able to jump up as Browning, a little taller than him, not able to reel that one in. Agunyas getting a hand on it at the last moment. It'll be third down and goal to go at the 6. 5:49 left to play in the second quarter. Out here at Mount Miguel High School in the Spring Valley area. Eastern part of San Diego. Gabe Cruz and the Sultans of Santana. The throw on the quick pass is going to be too high.
Pass incomplete.
And now on fourth down, are they going to go for the field goal? Looks like they are. Dylan English is out on the field as head coach Tim Estes wants points on the board. His team down 27-0.
Field goal attempt for the Sultans.
Gabe Cruz, the holder. Number 9 for Dylan English. English, a senior. The kick is high enough, long enough, and it's good.
Kick is up and good.
So it is now 27-3 as Dylan English gets the field goal for the Sultans of Santana High School, and they now have points on the board. 5:40 left to play until halftime here at Homecoming Night 2012 for Mount Miguel. So the game plan after the fourth score was implemented to run that football, and they weren't able to keep it on downs, had to give it up. And then the Matadors were in a situation on third down where the quarterback Moreno was scrambling around and trying to find an open receiver and could not, and threw the ball into the hands of Corey Connor for an interception. And then the Sultans able to keep the football all the way down to the 6-yard line where they were stopped. But they're able to put points on the board with a field goal. And now English, he's going to kick it from the 40-yard line. The Sultans on the season have been able to create problems for teams with the kicking game. Let's see if they can do that here. And a pretty good run back, getting that ball all the way to the 30-yard line.
Dwayne Williams with the
Dwayne Williams finding a way to weave his way for some yards up the field. And getting them in decent field territory at the 30. Just about 5.5 left to play until halftime. Moreno and his teammates leading 27-3. They hand it off to the man who's been alone, and he gets around the edge, and that's not good for the Sultans as he gets all the way across midfield, all the way down to about the 40-yard line. But let's see what has occurred on that run, as there are flags out on the field, and on this artificial surface. It turns out to be a scenario where the Matadors are going to have to walk it back because they victimized themselves trying to gain an edge. With the hold?
Going to set up first and 20.
First down and 20 yards to go. The 10-yard penalty erases a first down inside Sultan territory by Dozier. Moreno, single man in the backfield, he hands it off, or fake hands it off. Nice fake, and he throws out into the flat, and they've got another first down, and he might have more than that, all the way down to the 35-yard line. Before Owen Brown could bring him down.
Ball's going to be spotted at the 37, where it's the first.
Even though the running plays have been the touchdowns for Mount Miguel, the passing plays, some of them, have been very instrumental in setting up those touchdowns. And now here's the big man, Dozier. He just finds a seam, and then he's brought down, but not before he gets inside the 20-yard line. Tony Dozier just been too much for the Sultans in this game.
Block in the back against the offense.
But some of the things that have been happening on his most recent runs is his teammates are cheating out there, trying to gain an edge, and they have to be careful of that because it turns momentum around for the other team. And it also keeps the officials watching you when you don't want them watching you that closely. Moreno hands it off in the backfield, but that play is not going anywhere. When you have a 24-point lead, it's not crucial that you get points on a board. But in football, everybody knows momentum can be a fickle thing, and if you can grab momentum, especially in this game where there's still a lot of time left in it, you can try to find a way to come back. Moreno, nice pass, and it is a touchdown. That was a bullet in to the corner of the end zone for the Matadors, and they now lead 33-3 as Devon Jackson able to catch that ball in stride for Pater. 3:59 left to play in his second quarter. Tim Estes is saying we've got to find a way to stop the running game, but when the passing game victimizes you as well, that could be a long afternoon or long evening.
One after touchdown is good.
And a PAT is good.
3:59 to go for the
34-3. They've only missed 1 point after touchdown. Otherwise, it would be 35-3, which you normally like to see. Only one turnover in the game. They haven't been perfect, but they've been basically near perfect. The band plays here at Mount Miguel High School. A good sounding band here alongside Jim Costa Films. Jim Costa, our cameraman, bringing you the sights and sounds from out here in Spring Valley, the eastern part of San Diego County, not as far away as the Sultans reside out in Santee. And those who've been to San Diego before, you're watching this, wherever you're watching this from, no, you could take that 54 freeway and get yourself all the way up to 94 and try and get over here to Mount Miguel, or you can just do it right off the 54 as it goes to, I should add that part in there, the 125 freeway. And here is the kickoff all the way down to the 1 yard line.
Fielded at the 1.
Browning, Tyler Browning, he's at the 20, the 25,
Across the 30.
to the 30, and then he is met there at about the 33 before a host of Matadors is able to bring him down. So that's where the Sultans will set up camp in this series of downs. Again, the program has to be the same, and that is eat up time off the clock and get into the end zone. Don't allow Matadors a lot of time in this game, because there's too much time left in this game to do damage. And when your defense is struggling to stop them, it's about all you can do. Gabe Cruz in a shotgun, and he throws too far away for Khalil Stewart to reel that one in. Out in the flat. So it'll be second down and 10. 3:43 left to play until halftime. You're watching a Langevin production via your iHigh.com. I'm Greg G.K. Porter, watching the Matadors in league play having their best first half of the season. Gabe Cruz in the gun again. Single wideouts to the right and left, and the handoff was one where they weren't able to gain any kind of yardage up the middle, unless they could find the right type of play to confuse them a little bit. Trips out to the wide side of the field, and being swarmed under is Cruz. Cruz wants to try to run it, and he's not going to get much there. And as he tried to tuck it down, he almost lost the football, and
Hernandez with the quarterback sack.
it's going to be fourth down. A host of yards to go.
Set up fourth down.
About 11.
Punt team.
Just inside 2.5 left to play until halftime. Dylan English dropping back to kick it. English on the high snap. It gets it away. All the way as it hits the 40. Trying to strip that football away, but they just couldn't quite wrestle it away. However,
We've reached the 2-minute
the
warning.
punt returner is brought down there at the 31-yard line.
Remember our Rally's Hamburger halftime spectacular.
So that's where the Matadors were going to start it off,
Crowning of your homecoming king and queen.
at the 31-yard line
All followed
in
by
Matador
the
territory.
Fireworks spectacular.
They had fireworks here for the national anthem. Don't often see that at high school games. Moreno in the gun, and flags on the play. The play is whistled dead, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Sultans. First down and 5 yards to go. Minute 57 left to play until halftime. Single man in the backfield, that's been Tony Dozier. And that's all they've needed in this game. Dropping back and brought down is Moreno.
Quarterback sack.
Getting in there to do the job was Fernando Murphy. Murphy Smelling out that play, the junior.
Fernando Murphy.
Second down. 15 yards to go for the Matadors. Single man in the backfield again is Tony Dozier. Dropping that back deep, and Moreno, he's got a good arm, and he gets that ball to his wide receiver downfield, and that's Richardson, and Richardson gets it all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Down at the 27.
And it's going to be marked actually at the 27.
Correction, Isaiah Fulton with the reception, and we have a timeout taken by the Matadors.
I thought that was Bolton on the play. Richardson is number 8 out there. But he's been calling him more than I have in this game. So it's going to be a first down, great field territory now for the Matadors. 34-3, the Matadors comfortably ahead, only in the first half. If you just tuned in, it's been the big man in the backfield has scored every touchdown except for one. And here he is again in the backfield. Dropping back.
Moreno going.
The good arm. Moreno, it finds his wide open in the corner of the end zone. However, there are flags out there on the field.
Oh, we got
might be brought back.
points up yet.
If the flags are against the Sultans, it'll be 40 points on the board for the Matadors. Yes, 40 points on the board, and we're still in the first half. This is one of those high-scoring games for one team in the county. This cannot continue for the Sultans. Otherwise, they will find themselves victimized by maybe the highest score against them, not only this season, but in many seasons. And just when they have been showing some progress in a tough season, 2012. Unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's going to work against Mount Miguel.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Matadors, but we're going to count the touchdown.
But the touchdown is going to count
See a replay
as
Richardson's touchdown on the Jumbotron.
As the Matadors had the unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown. And so that'll work against them. And it'll work against them right here as they try to score the extra point. Correction on that, it will work against them on the kickoff. 40-3, your score. If you're Sean McDade, second half, this is the type of game you get an opportunity to play some of the players that have not been able to play that much. The kick is up, and it is good. Where you go into the locker room saying, we'll play the starters for a little bit, and then we're going to rest them and make sure that they're healthy, because we want to try to get into the playoffs and go as deep as we possibly can. As you see the score 41-3, with 1:08 still left until not the game is over, the first half. And the biggest deficit of the year against the Sultans of Santana High School. You look around the county and you look at the year that some of these teams have had, the high schools have had, and perennially, Helix High School up there amongst the top 5 teams in the county with the 1-loss record. But Costa Canyon at number 2 having themselves a whale of a season. But who's on top? Oceanside, residing where they like to reside as the number 1 team in the county. And that is a ball that is going to go out of play, and it's going to turn out to be. And I don't know whether they were trying to get possession back. It kind of looked like that for the moment. But the Sultans are going to get good field territory. And head coach Tim Estes talking to the referee and telling him what actually happened as he saw it. Make sure that they have it right. In this 41-3 high school football game here in Spring Valley between the Sultans of Santana High School out in Santee and the Matadors of Mount Miguel here in the Spring Valley area. The leaders in the Grossmont Valley League at 2-0. And the ball is going to be at midfield for the Sultans. And who knows what they will do this time? Will they continue to run the football, or will they try to air it out? Maybe they'll try to air it out here. Quick out upfield.
Pass completed to Browning. Gain of a yard.
Gain of about a yard on the play. Tyler Browning.
2nd and 9, Sultans.
2nd down and 9 yards to go. Gabe Cruz drops back and throws it downfield.
Pass incomplete.
Pass play intended for Tyler Browning, and he was being matched up with heavily downfield. They might have got away with the pass interference call. It was not called. And with 19 seconds left, this could potentially be the last play of the first half. The Sultans want to run it.
Raymond with the carry up the middle.
And it goes to Raymond. And Jareth gaining a few yards, close to the 45. That's going to end the first half of action, and not a very profitable first half for the Sultans of Santana, and they hope that things will change for them in the second half as they're down by 38 points, 41-3. We'll be back with the second half, and after they have the festivities here at Mount Miguel High School in Spring Valley. Enjoy the halftime festivities. Action underway here in the second half, and that ball is not going to be returned.
Ball's going to sail out of the end zone for the second half.
Dylan English, and a nice strong kick to start off the second half. 41-3, and a great fireworks show here at Mount Miguel High School. There was the missing fireworks show that should have been out here in San Diego on the 4th of July for some reason. Did not go off. But this one here at Mount Miguel High School was awesome for a high school game. I think it's the best one I've ever seen for a high school game. And they have a lot of area to the left of this football field. Moreno gonna hand it off to the man who scored numerous touchdowns in the first half, and that's Tony Dozier. And Dozier
with the carry.
Number 33 gets the ball across the 35
With the stop.
and gets his team an initial first down gained
Let's go, defense!
here in the second half. 41-3, Greg G.K. Porter along with George Langevin watching Tony Dozier being dragged down. Dozier tried to break it out wide. They wouldn't allow him to continue on. Marcos Zamudia was saying, I'm strong enough to pull you down, big guy. Saw that working out in the weight room. Football players do during the summertime, getting ready for the season. Marino with a strong arm, throws downfield, and it's batted away at the last moment.
Drops the pass.
Being able to get his hands on it was Owen Brown in coverage that time.
Owen Brown with the coverage. Gonna set up 3rd and 10.
About 9.5 left to play here in the third quarter. At Mount Miguel High School out here in Spring Valley on homecoming night 2012 with that fireworks show. One of the most awesome homecomings you'll ever see. Tony Dozier hurtling over players, and then he is taken and dragged down, actually whipped around forward. Those can be dangerous plays.
James Parr with the tackle.
If somebody gets a hold of you.
Gonna bring up 4th down.
4th down and about 5 yards to go. And the Sultans saying, we want to stop you from going any further, gaining another first down, running up the score, what have you. Problem is they're already down by 38 points.
Back to return.
But again, as I mentioned earlier in the first half, stops. And that's the thing to make this game respectable is what the Sultans are going to have to do of Santana High School. Nearly a block punt. Flag on the play. It hits at the 35, rests at the 32 before a Matador picks it up.
Robert Rios down in the punt.
Let's see what the flag is about. Rios was that player in the Matador uniform picking that football up. It looks like it's going to be marked off against the Matadors. And correction on that. Actually, it looks like it's going to be marked off against. Well, let's see what they're going to do here. Don't have a signal yet. Now we have a signal. Play is declined as the penalty was against the Matadors. It's a false start penalty. And so the Sultans will take where that ball landed at and get it started at the 33-yard line. For Gabe Cruz here in the second half. Let's see what he can do and his teammates offensively. Only have 3 points to show. And he is dumped way back at the 20-yard lines as Walker gets back there with a quarterback sack. Not able to find anybody downfield. And by the time he decided to run with the football, he was sacked for a loss. Cruz hands it off straight up the middle. The ball carrier swarmed under. Not too happy about it that time was Raymond.
Sonny Samawada with the stop.
And Jarrett said, wait a minute, nobody's blocking. And an offensive line, and I'm going to get swarmed under pretty hard here.
3rd and 23 for the Sultans.
3rd down and 23. They're not going in the right direction, are the Sultans. 41-3 your score. But let's see what they can do here on 3rd down and long yardage. Trying to spread them out. Trips to the near side, and you're just going to run the football and decide to kick it.
On the left side.
So in the shadow of their own end zone, they're going to kick this one away.
Tasaga with the stop.
As Tasaga getting in and making the play. As he's made a few plays in this game.
4th down.
Whenever you're down by this many points in a game, sometimes coaches decide to fool the opposing team with a play. Not the case this time, as it is kicked away, nearly touched, and then he finally grabs it at the 27-yard line, and he swarmed under, and he almost gave up the football. Good
Spotted at the 26.
coverage on the punt. Kevin Brady to finish him off. And Brady's had himself a pretty good season for the Sultans.
Kevin Brady with the tackle.
Moreno, quarterback, had himself a whale of a first half. Single man in the backfield. And they have a different quarterback out there. The ball hit the ground. And the handoff, single man in the backfield carrying it. Now they want to do the hurry up. This is the first hurry up in the game. Hartfield was the ball carrier.
Minor highlights for tonight's game can be seen on the KUSI's PPR.
And they hand it off. And getting the carry going across the 35-yard line, getting up to about the 37. And that's going to be a first down.
And immediately after PPR, check out PPR Plus on KUSI.com.
Getting close to 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter. 41-3 here at Mount Miguel High School in the Spring Valley area. Throw out to the flat is complete. And Jackson might run this one all the way. No, he is not going to do that as he's dragged down, but not before he gets it across the 15 to about the 13-yard line of the Sultans. Browning making the tackle. The touchdown saving tackle at that, as I mentioned here.
15, where it's going to be a first down, Mount McGill.
And here's a hurry-up offense again. No huddle. Spread them way out wide. Is McDade getting players in there that are going to be a part of the future for this Mount Miguel High School team. Or maybe seniors that don't get the playing time that they would like to have, getting an opportunity here. And they're trying to put it into the end zone, as they have done numerously in this game. But not this time, as smelling out that play and dropping it For almost no gain, it's Andrew Novotny, the junior. And Jagger was in on a play as well.
Loss of 1, set up 3rd and 8, Mount Miguel.
3rd down and about 8 yards to go. And they're going to flush him out of the backfield, but he throws right behind the intended wide receiver though on the play.
Pass incomplete.
In the coverage that time. And it was Fernando Murphy. Looking for Marshall on that play. Marshall not able to connect with that one as it was thrown behind him. And this might be the last play of the 3rd quarter, as this game is speeded up in a hurry. And well, it should, considering the difference in score. They're going to try to field goal. Kick is down, up, long enough.
Field goal attempt.
But it is wide.
No good.
So they try to work on the kicking game a little bit, and they're not successful. So that's the last play of the 3rd quarter. And the cheerleaders for both teams over here on the near side,
And that's going to do it.
showing how loud they can yell and keep everybody interested in the game. And their cheers on the sidelines here. And the Mount Miguel cheerleader went way up in the air as we work towards the 4th quarter. Greg G.K. Porter, along with Jim Costa, he's bringing you all the video out here in Spring Valley at Mount Miguel High School, where the Matadors enjoying a 38-point lead with 12 minutes left to go in the game. That's all they play in high school football, 12-minute quarters. Vice 15, as you see,
school.
in college and in the pros.
And thank you, Mount Miguel High School Foundation. A big round of applause.
Fundraiser over here, as they're mentioning here at the field. Comfortable night out here in Spring Valley. Hopefully you've enjoyed this game. Watching high school football wherever you are. We are very, very happy and proud to be with you on this Friday evening in October. Check out any of Jim Costa Films' #1, any of his videos. He has a lot of them. And Langevin Productions, Langevin Productions with an S. You put all that together. Go to YouTube on both for Jim Costa Films and for Langevin Productions. And you'll see a lot of videos that we have been participating in. The minutia not important in this game, as the score is quite out of hand on one side. Look for individual things the coaches do this juncture. And getting in there and sacking the quarterback is a host of Matadors. And the offensive line having a tough time in this game today. Walker was in there for the sack. Now the cheerleaders go to the other side and entertain them over there for both teams. Sultan cheerleaders have done a fine job all season long in a tough season for the players out there on the gridiron. Only been able to win one game this season.
Santana's going to run it.
Ball carrier that time was Raymond again, and Jareth being hit by a number of defensive players from that defensive line and the linebackers and everybody coming over there, making sure he doesn't go any further. Raymond, the leading ball carrier on the season. It's been tough sledding in this game, playing against the #1 team in the Grossmont Valley League. There are 2 Grossmont leagues out here. We've got the Grossmont League and then the Grossmont Valley League. And a pass out to the flat, and Browning barely getting his hand on that one. Way over its intended target. And so now
Santana bringing on their
the
punt team.
shadow their own end zone. They're going to have to punt it. The punt returner dropping back at the 44-yard line. Just kind of keeping his legs fresh there. Now he moves up closer.
Punt from their end zone.
The flag on a play, and the ball is going to be out of bounds at around the 42-yard line. Correction. Let's see what the flag is about. In this 41-3 football game, they have put in a running clock, more so in the second half, as the CIF
False start against the Sultans.
has those types of regulations based on differential between the 2 teams.
And we're under 8. You haven't noticed. In case you haven't, it's a running clock.
Hasn't always been that way in CIF football, but things have changed over the recent years. The ball is at the 42 for the Matadors. Single man in the backfield. Quarterback barely got the football. And he tries to run it along the left sideline, and he gets out of bounds, and he's going to have a first down. And for a broken play, they gain some pretty good yards on that one.
Jacob Castillo with the quarterback run.
Down to 7 minutes left to go in the game. Matadors
Ball spotted at the 31.
enjoying a way comfortable lead. Handoff straight up the middle.
Hartfield up the middle.
Tough sledding. Hartfield getting the call. Gains a couple of yards. And there goes the bugle on the far side.
Elijah Crumpton with the stop.
And the partisans on
For the Matadors.
the homecoming side have heard that throughout the game and been enjoying it. Capped it off with a halftime show that is close to no other when you have fireworks like they had. And I mean real fireworks. Those fireworks were actually better than the ones on the field in the first half, as far as the Matadors are concerned. And that's hard to do when you pile up that kind of a lead. Short gain on a play, if any. Third down and long yardage to go. Again, as I mentioned, there's substitute players in there, or players that don't get a lot of time to play, as you have really not seen Dozier here in the second half. He got 1 carry, I believe it was, in the second half, and that was it. Nice play that time by Kevin Brady to get the ball carrier. And we're already down inside 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes left to go in the game. They're going to have to punt it. Not able to do anything. The series of downs. only probably the second punt of the entire game that they've had. Trying to get it in the coffin corner that time, and they got it inside the 10-yard line to about the 8-yard line.
We're under 5 on homecoming night.
This may be one of the last times that the Sultans have the football. And for them, they'd like to try and at least get a couple of times with it, but with a running clock, might be tough to do. And with running the football and the way things have gone here in the second half offensively, it's going to be tough to do that. 4:15 left to go and clock moving. Sultans down by 38.
Carry across.
They hand it off. And that carry was off the left side, about 5 or 6 yards. The prognosticators of what this game was going to be score-wise are pretty close to it. A little bit under for both teams. They actually thought that Mount Miguel might get about 48 points on the board. Win it about 48-13. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Flag on a play. We're down to 3:21 left to play in the game. The last one for us of the season for Santana Sultans. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. It's the third week. And surely the Sultans will be much better in a high school football scenario next season than they are this season. Still got one more game. They got the homecoming game next week, I should say, against Monte Vista. The Langevin Productions will be heading east. There's a guy out east who's been chewing up a lot of yards in the county.
First down, Santana. Browning with the reception. Gain of 8.
Browning was a ball carrier on there, or was the reception on that one, I should say. Romano.
And we're under 2.
Got over 2,000 yards rushing, or passing-wise. And the gentleman that I was mentioning was Royce Freeman. Freeman has been a load.
First down.
From Imperial High School, the junior. Got close to 1,500 yards rushing this season. Leading ground gainer. Mentioned Chris Martin, Otay Ranch, leading high school football player with receiving yards. He's got 957, almost 1,000 yards up to this point. David Tristan, leading tackler with 70 of them. There's a pass to Browning, and Browning getting it across the 40. Minute left to play in the game. Can the Sultans get a pass play and get it in the end zone? Oceanside, the #1 team in the county. Oceanside at 6-1. LCC coming in this week as the pass is incomplete. There's 6-1. Helix 5-1. Cathedral, the #4 team, at 5-2. The big game with St. Augustine, as I mentioned earlier. Mission Hills, #5 at 5-2. Poway at 5-2 is #6 team. Olympian coming in this week was #7 team in the county, moving up from the big victory of last week over Otay Ranch. #8 team, St. Augustine at 6-1. Grossmont at 7-0 is the #9 team, and then Eastlake at 5-2, the #10 team. Under 10 seconds, last play of the game. And the pass is broken up. Or is it a fumble? It doesn't matter. That is the last play of the game. So the Mount Miguel Matadors win homecoming 2012, 41-3. As you see there on the scoreboard, they dominated in the first half. They dominated practically from the outset and primarily from the first quarter. They had enough points to give them a victory and running clock in the second half, and really no chance for the Sultans, who congratulate them for their efforts, and the Matadors, who lead now 3-0 in the Grossmont Valley League. We hope that you enjoyed all of the action. I'm Greg G.K. Porter for Langevin Productions with Jim Costa, bringing you the sights and sounds for Jim Costa Films 1 and George Langevin from Langevin Productions. I'm Greg G.K. Porter saying take care of yourself as always. God bless. And remember to, as we say, save this one on your hard drive. Remember to check in with us anytime from ihigh.com. Bye now from Mount Miguel High School in Spring Valley.